Hallelujah. Hello and welcome to Anam podcast. Thank you for watching this video.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Welcome, Amy. Welcome, our beautiful Peace Lily. Welcome.
Hi, sister.
Let's get ourselves started. Let's close our eyes. Breathing into the space. Relax. Let go. Allow. Allow the flow of love to come in to your awareness. Allow it to be part of you. Allow the love to be light and harmonious to your body. Allow it to guide this conversation we're about to have. Welcome. Thank you. Hello. Again.
That just really allowed me my heart to smile.
Oh, nice. I like that.
And it was just like, it just knows. So, I used to have dreadlocks, for anybody who does not know that. But they always went along with, oh, you smoke weed and are you a reggae music listener and blah, blah, blah. And I did love Bob Marley. I do love Bob Marley, right? But I always associated with him smoking the herb, him, and his belief systems, right? But when I had the dreads, I was listening to him for the music, for when I smoked weed, and blah, blah, blah. So then I went to the cinema to see his movie, right? What I did, there was no sense of community in the cinema. Like, me and my friend were the only one dancing and singing.
Right.
And I was just, in my head, my own fault, I had this expectation of all these, Like, I was rocking my Bob Marley shirt. I was like, I'm a fan. But I never actually sat with myself and asked, what is it? What do you represent?
What does he represent
for
for
that
you?
makes me smile inside.
Yeah.
So obviously that movie brought me to a space of, his message was unity. His message was peace. His message was love. And that's all that we are.
Yeah.
And it's so mad because I felt like my heart knew, say 4 years ago when I had the dreads, that I like this man, before my human brain could actually understand the reasoning. So this version of me actually sees what he fought for and what he represented. And now I'm just in a space of, I'm grateful that those belief systems were put on me, but now I finally actually realize why I believed them. And then it got me thinking, God, what other belief systems am I holding on to that aren't even probably mine?
That's true, though.
So yeah,
our belief systems. So they say that when we come into physical form, before we take a human body, our consciousness goes through kind of like a template phase where it understands beliefs. Template as in, what is this going to look like? What is this going to feel like? And then what themes do we want to experience? So it all comes into the consciousness before it takes a human form, and then we express that once we're here. So it sounds like part of your theme of why you've taken human form, part of it is unity, love. That's why you were attracted to that. But we do carry beliefs from our parents.
Oh, absolutely, God. But yeah, so I suppose actually it's a different, that version of me loved them for the herb smoking and the and this version is like, oh sweet, your message is
Yeah.
technically why my belief is why we're all here.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a really nice space for me to bring that awareness to.
Yeah.
And then it got me on a mad reflection train, and I was like, Snow White was always my favorite Disney princess, right? And I sat down to watch it with my mom the other day, and I was like, the animation's so old, like it was brought out so many years ago. And I was sitting here going, how as a kid did I even enjoy this? Like, do you know what I mean? So anyway, I'm letting it unravel, and Snow White, she depends on nature, you know, she's talking to the plants, she's talking to the birds and the deers, she's allowing them in, and she's opening herself up to listen to the guidance that nature is giving her. And like as a child, I don't know if I even thought, maybe I just liked how she looked or whatever, but now in this version of me, I'm seeing, oh, I get you, you know what I mean? Because essentially that's what I'm doing, that's what my belief system is.
That's another theme,
you know?
that
That's
you come
another
in
theme.
with.
Yeah.
So the unity, the love, that we are all one. So I had awareness over the last couple weeks about, because we're all light beings in meat bodies, right? So I had a vision come to me about what this reality really looks like, because we're playing out the themes through our minds, and our eyes are the projectors of what our mind believes. Now we have built-in templates of what we all agree this looks like. So that generally doesn't change until you realize that this is a projection from you. You can then start molding it, melding it, changing it. However, I got this vision of light beings, just a pillar of light in a golden space of pure potential. That's what reality really is. Take away the meat body, take away the house, take away all this. What we're actually sitting in, and what we actually are light beams of light in a field of pure potential. So this can look like anything you want it to, though we have come in with agreements of what this template looks like. But I wanted to talk about what people call the Mandela effect, or glitches in the matrix. And I love seeing these because it just reinforces what I feel is, those glitches aren't glitches. Like, nobody's made this matrix for you. This was an agreement you had before you took a human form, and you're living in a field of pure potential. Means you can make this look like whatever you want it to look like, essentially. But you have processes to go through, because we have a belief that we're limited in different ways. So there are processes and things to work through. But essentially, you're a beam of light in a space of pure potential. That's all we all are. And so I like to sit, like when I was sitting on the bus on the way here, we're all lights going through this field of pure potential. There's really no bus. There's really no land around me. It's all is just believing that it's all there. So that's what we see. So these glitches in the matrix, where we're seeing the airplane stuck in the air, that's just proof to me that we are flipping through realities millions of times per second. And that one, it's slipping right now, because we're all becoming more aware. We're all realizing that this isn't so solid.
Wow. And do you reckon that you're in this space because your awareness within, you know that you're light, so that's how you're seeing the light outside? Does that make sense?
No.
So because, like, my belief system at the minute is that we're all mirrors and reflections of one another.
Yeah.
So
which is true.
Yeah. So because you see the light in yourself.
Yeah, you can't see. Yes.
You're seeing the light externally.
Yeah, so I see that everybody is a light being of pure potential. And this is a space of pure potential. And we have agreed that this is what we are going to all see. And we have, so there is a conscious agreement that is made before you take a human body. And I also know that we're limited when we come into the human body, whereas in our light being self, there is no limitation. And we know that we're creating this. Like, we know that this is all mental. Your eyeballs are your projectors.
So
I love thinking about this shit.
I know you're getting like, so for example, right? Your higher self mind?
Yes.
Or your higher self?
Your higher self mind.
And the human mind.
Okay, so there's the ego mind and then the higher self mind. And the two are supposed to work together.
Okay.
Okay.
So we balance out the both of the minds. Like, for example, years ago, if somebody told me ego's a good thing, you were crazy.
I know,
way
because
is the ego a good
that's
thing.
the first layer, thinking that it's bad.
Yeah. Oh, and did I like? Oh, I was.
You
like,
can't exist without the ego. It's your personality.
Yeah, that's when I realized then the ego actually pushes you to do things that you believe in or that you want to pursue.
Yes.
And it's only been the past couple of months that I've like grabbed my ego on board, do you know what I mean? Allowing it to come from a loving space rather than
a negative space.
A negative space.
See, there's nothing negative in this world. All beliefs are purposeful, even if, because it's us humans in our meat bodies, our egos, judging whether something's good or bad based on our beliefs, our specific personal beliefs. Now, when you realize you're a light body, you're a light beam in a field of pure potential, you allow everybody just to be who they are because it doesn't matter. This is not real. This is real to the extent that we're projecting it so that we have an experience, and the experience is important. That's why you took a human form. It's for this experience, but it's for realizing that if you choose to, not everybody's going to choose, you can experience yourself in a different way. So the ego, from how I've learned it, is part of your personality. But the way ego gets into a more negative, can be deemed more negative, is when it thinks it's the only way to do something. The ego is not the way to do things. Do you know how when you have a problem and you need to solve it? In the past, I would have sat down and I would have thought of all the different ways I could solve this problem. That's ego. Working with my higher self, working with my spirit self, which there is a spirit self for everybody, allows me to know that my ego self does not know the big picture. And I should never listen to the ego's idea of how to solve something. Because it only knows, it's limited in its knowledge. It only knows this, which isn't real. You know what I mean? So your higher self, your spirit self, is guiding you always. And it's your choice to listen to it. So ego wants to say there's not a higher self. Ego wants to say there's fear. Ego makes decisions based on fear. So in those ways, you can see it as negative. But ego is also your personality. Ego is also what makes you on this planet. Ego is what you have to carry through on this planet, because without ego, you would have no personality. You would have no life.
Yeah, just an example of that literally unfolded last week when I felt something internally shift. Like, there was nauseous, there was migraines, there was headaches. But I was trying, my ego was trying so hard to fix this. It was trying, what's wrong with me? Like, I was booking blood tests, I was going into nuts and grains, like, because I just felt yucky and you want to fix it, right? And I got guided to go to Mullingar to go see a sister of mine. And I'm just talking about this, you know, making it even worse by putting my energy on it.
Yeah.
And she was like, Amy, just let yourself feel this way. Your body's just asking for a rest. Like you're avoiding actually feeling like this by you trying to figure it out. And I was like,
very good.
I was like, oh my days. Like, what happened?
We overthink it. We overthink everything. Here's the thing. I was just thinking about this last night. So this is the thing, is when you are in your flow, synchronicities just happen. And you realize this is how life is supposed to be. This is how beautiful life can be. Because just last night I was thinking about how when we're children in school, how we're not taught to, how do I say this? We're taught to use the ego mind. We're to use the physical mind to try to figure shit out. That's what we're taught in school. We're not taught to relax, allow the answer to come to you. We're not taught that. We're taught figure it out. 1 + 1 is 2. It's obvious. It's right there. Whereas the higher self isn't right here. It is, but you're not going to get to it from thinking about it. You're going to get to it by relaxing. It's easy. It's flow. That's the higher self. It wants to show you life is easy. And we're taught that from a tiny little person. We're taught to think. And that's feeding the ego.
And just because the answer is always there, as you said, from your higher self. You just need to quiet the ego, relax, to hear it.
Yeah. And the higher self feels like joy. So it was likened to a scuba diver. When you're under the water, your higher self is above the water and you're under the water. You don't know which way to turn because you can't see. But your higher self is guiding you and it's saying, go this way and go this way. And we have ingrained in us a way of knowing if it's the higher self, and it's by how it feels. So the higher self feels like love. So no matter how dark things get in your world, you have a desire to have love in your life. And that's you being guided back to your higher self. So the more you allow love in your life, and unfortunately what we do is we fall in love with a person or a thing like a drug, and we mistaken the love for that person or that drug or that something. Sometimes it's sex. Sometimes it's whatever it is. We fall in love with things. But if you can remember, you're just a beam of light in a field of pure potential. The only thing that matters is your connection to that higher self and letting that guide you, because that's the love that you're all looking for.
Yeah, I'm just going to keep referring it back to my experience because
that's all
we're here for. Yes. We went on an adventure yesterday and they were all so grateful that the sun was shining. And remember you were saying that we control the weather?
Yes.
So we got out of the car and they didn't like the fact that the sky was looking the colour it was. And I was like, we control the weather. Yeah. And obviously I'm a little bit of a nut job compared to my other mates, right? Absolutely. Thank you for that. This old man was just walking down where we were walking. We just crossed paths. And Kira, my friend, she was like, we control the weather. And my man turns around and said, Jesus, well, if you control the weather, will you ask for a bit of sunshine? So anyway, about half an hour flew by and the blue skies, right? And I was just thinking in my head, I bet you that man's going, Jesus Christ. Even if he wasn't, I was still imagining I was saying this. And I was just like, it's just
yeah. Well, it's funny because we tend to react to things instead of saying, no, why is that here? Why did I want that in my life? What is that here? Why did I create that? What is it here to show me? What is it here to do? And if it's just the weather, you say, oh, fuck, I create that. I'd love some sunshine. And I know it's going to happen. So this is the difference. I'd like some sunshine. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It won't happen. You have to know who you are. You have to know it's gonna clear, and it will clear.
And my whole reason why I brought that story up, I got so sidetracked, was oh yeah, the weather. It was going to be a bad day if the weather
Wasn't good.
if the skies weren't blue and all this, right? And it just boggles my mind that so many people's happiness are on external factors.
Yeah.
Like even when you're sitting in the sauna and they're like, geez, it's a grand stretch in the evenings now, isn't it? Like, and they're saying it with such a smile on their face. And it's great that they're embracing the change or whatever, but it's like they're only happy because it's getting brighter in the evening.
Because they're reacting.
You know? Yeah. And it's just, God, it all has its purpose.
It all does. And it's all there to show you we're constantly being reminded to wake up. Wake up. So messages come to you, podcasts get dropped to you, whatever happens, it's to wake you up to the fact that you're creating this. This is a projection from your eyeballs, from your mind, from your higher self, from your consciousness. What you believe, what your definitions are about life, are what you see and experience.
Oh, it just brought me to what? You know the way trees grow like I say they grow braids, but their branches like intertwine around.
Yeah.
So I always just say that they're growing braids, right? So we were on a hike about 2 weeks ago, and I just go, "Look, guys, the trees growing braids." And I actually wish that I didn't get the reaction on camera. They literally just went, and it was just like, because I'm seeing the magic in it.
Yeah.
I had to share that. I had to do it. And I got them this thing, and it was like, you know the way they come up with labels, because the human brain needs labels.
Yeah.
Something, I can't remember the name, and it was like, someone who's sexually attracted to trees. And I was like, I love that people are sending me this, because I was sexually attracted to a lot worse things. I'm all right with a tree. So it was just very grateful.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, just so that's your sign to be authentically you.
Yeah. You know, if a belief that you have feels shitty, you don't have to hold on to it. Let it go. If you have beliefs that don't feel good, you don't have to have them. Nobody says you have to be this way. Like, you're the one making this up.
Yeah. Shift that.
Shift it, change it, do it differently.
Go hug a tree.
Go hug a tree. Yes. They are also light beings.
Absolutely.
Living in pure potential. Yeah. No, so you know what got me thinking about this whole, I love watching videos about people that capture glitches in the matrix. I love, because it just kind of reiterates what I know. And my beliefs now feel good to me. So, and when you start feeling good about beliefs, now I'm not saying that shit don't exist out there, because I know it does. I lived in it. I believed in it for so many years, and I realized I'm not happy. And I realized there's got to be something different. And that's what really started me to say, look, it's always there. And so following what feels good, what makes me happy, is all that's important to me anymore. And it really does change your perspective, your vision, what you see, changes everything. Who is in your life, it changes where you're at, it changes who you are, it changes everything. So all it was is me wanting to be happy, like genuinely happy. So I love watching videos that show glitches in the matrix, because it shows me, it just, like I said, it reiterates what I believe. Like, we're projecting and we're flipping through parallel realities millions of times per second. They could be just tiny little differences. but we're still flipping because there's only now, which is static. It doesn't, it's a picture, which means it's not moving. So we have to be shifting in order to get movement. There is a glitch in the Matrix video about a cat. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's a faucet running and the cat is stuck under the not stuck. The cat is like enjoying the water, but the cat is not moving. It is so still. It looks like a glitch in the Matrix. Like the water's running on it and it's like, and the guy's videoing him and he's like laughing because the cat, it's like somebody took a picture and just stuck the cat there. And then the cat, you know, after a little bit the cat moves, so you know it's not a still, because the guy's like moving around with the camera like what's up with this. Anyway, I love watching these things because your now is a snapshot. Your now is static. Your now is not moving. Your now is. Have you seen the videos of the birds not flying that are just in the air?
No.
You haven't watched these glitches in the Matrix? Oh, Jesus. You got to do that. And the other thing is the Mandela effect. So you know about the Mandela effect?
That's like how things are changing over time, is it?
So it's like you believe something to be a certain way all your life, and then you see it now and it's not what you remembered it to be.
Yeah.
So that also just reiterates that we're flipping through parallel realities all the time. And so you just happen to be in a reality now where that isn't true. It's a different reality because you're doing it millions of times per second. So it doesn't surprise me that there will be different memories than what you have. So that's just showing that we're slipping right now. We are more aware of consciousness and we're more changing how we believe, and so we're seeing more slippages and we'll see more and more and more.
Go rapid pace.
Yes, now we're going to see more because we're realizing that we are the ones creating this. Nobody's creating this for you. There's no doom out there. There's no conspiracy to kill the humans. There's nothing. It's us creating this reality through our own beliefs and our own minds. And one thing that just happened is the picture of you and your friend doing. So Amy did a workshop last Sunday and had great success. And there's a picture that she has with her and her friend on both sides, and you can see how high she was, because you can see right through her and her friend. They were invisible almost. So you see the outline of them, but you can see right through the two of them. Whereas everybody else you can't see through. But the two on the ends, you can see right through you guys. And so to me, that's a photo showing of how high a vibration you guys were following, your highest vibration, and you could see right through you. Yeah, it was so beautiful.
Yeah, I'm so happy you brought that to my
I'm surprised you didn't see that.
No. Yeah, there was so much photographs. I was just like kept flicking, but no, when that got brought to my attention, it was just like, what? Because like years ago, I can remember like, you know, there would be photos of someone that has crossed over.
Yeah.
And there's like something, a shadow in the background, or like a blur or whatever.
Yeah.
And I can always remember that being a thing.
Yeah.
True.
Few and far between.
Yeah.
You're gonna see more and more and more now.
But that was in my head, it was because, oh, they're dead now, you know, it's whatever. And now it's like, well, two of us are living, do you know what I mean? Two, like, we're here.
And you're the only two that have your see-through, you're transparent.
Yeah.
It was beautiful.
Magical.
Yeah. And that's what you said too. You were feeling really high naturally.
Yeah, no, like and it was in a space of just like trusting. There was nothing but trust in that room, you know what I mean? It was like, I was nervous at the start, you know, but once I dropped down into my heart space, it was like, take me.
And trust.
Yeah, like it was just.
And I think that picture represents that. It shows that you guys both flowed and you were your light bodies
Yeah.
at that picture, that time of that picture.
Yeah.
You were, yeah.
No, it was beautiful. Really,
Yeah.
really was.
Yeah, I don't know. Life is magical. It's like you said, when you saw the tree and you saw the braids, you know, life is magical. But it's because you see the magic within that you'll see it without. You'll see it out there. Because this is just pure potential.
And it is, and I know we've all went through something, certain experiences that didn't build. Our belief system was, how could I be magic if I went through this?
Yes.
Or
Yeah.
how is that a good experience for me to have?
Yeah.
And we've all done that. We've
Yeah.
all experienced those. And I think the message is, for me, is you can always move into a new version or a new vibration that doesn't allow you to be stuck in
and you'll
space.
see that what you went through differently. So, you know, some people know that I had a son named Connor, and Connor, for his 7.5 years on this planet, he wasn't sick, but he had a tracheotomy, he had a G tube, he had to have oxygen, he had life support, I suppose you could say. And he, in my head, could die anytime. And that was actually my truth for 7.5 years. What I realized after he has crossed is that I created that experience for me to have an experience of unconditional love. I learned through him that I can love no matter what the situation looks like. As bad as it looks, I can choose to love. And so every situation that we go through that's hard has that gift in it. There's something in it for you to gain from. Nothing ever happens to squash you or make you, you know, feel like you're useless. We're so valuable. Every single one of us, even Connor, his value was that love. He emitted love. That's the only value that there is in this world.
And he, gosh, what annoyed me back when Connor was alive in physical form, oh, poor him.
Yeah. That annoyed me too.
It was just kind of like, you don't see what I see or what you see. Like, it was just, oh, because he's not like the rest of us.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
He's lacking. I don't know. Like, it boggled my mind because I didn't see it. Like, I didn't see him like that.
I didn't either.
And it just was like,
I think if I'd have seen him like that, I would have missed the whole point of his existence.
Absolutely, yeah.
I would have missed the whole thing and I would have not gained. And that is with every experience in life. It's always there showing you your way back to joy, back to love, back to who you really are.
Absolutely. And you don't need to have what everybody else has to bring you to that space.
No.
Because if you've seen him like other people viewed him, you would have seen him as a burden.
Yeah. And he wasn't at all.
Absolutely not.
No. And I feel blessed that you were in our life as well, because I know Patty and I never saw him that way, but it was such an added benefit to us to have you also in our life, to see him the way we saw him. Yeah. No, like, even I'll always call Connor True if I'm needing a hug, like, because his hugs were just magical. It was just like, it was everything in it. Yeah, you were holding him, but actually he was holding you. And everything was there. Like, he was a being of just pure love. And it's like, if I believed what I was taught, in that humans that come in with something wrong with them are a burden to society. They don't, it's like the whole yeah, I'm not gonna go there. If I continued on the way that I was taught, which I think Connor was really showing me another way. You don't have to follow the crowd. Don't follow the crowd. Do what you feel is what is happening here. Don't follow the crowd, because if I followed the crowd, I would be a mess like everybody else that has children and feels like they're a burden. But what I know is God doesn't make mistakes. Source has no mistakes. Nothing is a mistake. Everything has purpose and reason. And when I knew that, and I had this child, when he came into my life, and I kept telling myself, there's no mistakes. There's a purpose here. What is it? And I constantly ask myself that. What is in this that I need or want to see? And that's why I see it the way I do, because I was wanting to see it differently. And I feel like I'd have missed the whole point of it. Not one of us is here by accident. Not one of us is here by mistake. There's no such thing. You miss the point of life if that's what you believe. I think we can end the episode on that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Take a minute. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again.
Yeah, thank you for listening. We love you.
Bye.